Hey, Metal Maniacs! This is Kris from Warfect, and you're thrashing it out on Dave Softee's Metal Meltdown on Metal Messiah Radio.
Alrighty, Metal Maniacs, here we go. Please help me welcome to Metal Messiah Radio, hailing from Uddevalla, Sweden, from NAPALM Records, recording artist Blackened Thrash Metal Band, Warfect, here to talk about the band's brand new release, Spectre of Devastation. Joining us, we have Kris Wallstrom on bass and backing vocals. Welcome to the Metal Meltdown, Kris, and thank you for this opportunity.
Hey, thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. But first of all, Kris, I want to know, how have you been as far as dealing with this COVID pandemic, as far as your band and your family? I hope everybody has been healthy and not had any COVID related problems.
Yeah, sure. So we've been okay. So my family has been okay, and all the band members we've been okay. So no one has gotten sick as of yet. So we're lucky maybe, and we have a pretty relaxed position regarding the COVID restrictions here in Sweden. Or actually, we had rather relaxed restrictions, but recently in the last 3 weeks, I think we had a surge in cases. So and now we have harder restrictions, even in Sweden. So it's more like the rest of Europe, I think, in Sweden now. It's not at the heights of the spring, but I hope we can limit it and go back to the summer
Yes, we hope the
situation.
same thing too.
Um,
As a matter of fact, we had a similar situation here in the States. Actually, it's worse now than it was back in the springtime. And but they're talking about these vaccinations from various pharmaceuticals. So let's hope that that comes into fruition, and then everybody can be taken care of, and we can go on with our normal lives.
yeah, exactly. But in regards to music and the band, it's obviously we had several dates booked for 2020, which all are postponed to 2021. We did a few dates in January of this year, just in connection with the recording of the album before the pandemic hit. But all the other shows were
Yes.
postponed, and hopefully we can do them. Yeah, in 2021. I certainly hope so. At least the second half of 2021. But anyways, it was okay because we did the recording in January, and then we did the post production in the spring. So then we could focus on that instead. And then we signed to NAPALM in the summer, and we had a lot of things to do to get up to speed, so to speak, and prepare for the album release. So it was okay, but we would like, of course, to follow this release up with a tour or perhaps several. But now we have to do it
Yeah,
into
well,
one,
in good
hopefully.
time. Let's hope that this COVID goes away and you can do what you want to do. But you did use your time wisely, as I have checked out your band's brand new Spectre of Devastation release. And this was released, as you mentioned, through NAPALM Records out of Austria in November 13th of 2020. It's a totally kick-ass thrash offering, as is all your music. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it turned
I
out
noticed
great.
by looking into the metal archives that the band started out as In Coma in 2003 and then changed the name to Warfect in 2008. I'm curious to know, Kris, if you could tell us what led to this name change to Warfect. Warfect is a killer name, by the way.
Thank you. Well, actually, me Fredrik had a band in 2003, and in 2005 he asked me to join on bass guitar, and it was a completely different band. It was fronted by a female, and there was a completely different music style as well. And as the time passed, the music direction also changed, and we felt that prior to the release of our debut album in 2009, we felt that this is a completely new band, and by that time we had new members as well. So we decided that it's probably a good thing to change the name altogether and make a brand new start. So that's why we changed the name in 2008. It's a new band. It's a new musical direction. The other music was
Yeah,
completely different, and also the first album is actually completely different as well from Exoneration Denied from 2013 and onwards. So
yeah, I want to
yeah,
congratulate you again. You have four fine releases out there. The last one being 2016's Scavengers, and you did mention the 2013 and 2009 releases, Exonerated, Denied, and Depicting the Macabre. So congratulations on that. Can you inform
thanks.
the metal maniacs out there that are listening who makes up the current lineup of Warfect?
So we have Fredrik Wester on vocals and guitars. We have Manne on drums, and we have me, Kris Wallstrom, on bass guitar. So we are a three-piece since a few years now. I think it's quite a few years. So we decided to try it out when our previous second guitar player left the band, and we felt that this was really working well, and we wanted to try it a bit longer, and now we can't imagine doing something else. So we think being three-piece is perfect.
Yeah, your sound is amazing. You wouldn't think that it's a three-piece band, but you really kick ass. So you don't need any more. You're doing great as it is. Yeah. Let's learn all we can about the making of Spectre of Devastation. Who produced, mixed, mastered, and what studio was this recorded at?
So we're trying to do as much as we can by ourselves. So we're kind of a do-it-yourself band. And Fredrik is very good at sound mixing and producing, and he has his own studio. So we've been recording Exoneration Denied, Scavengers, and Spectre of Devastation at his studio. And he also produced the albums, including the latest one, and he mixed it as well. But this time we felt that it would be a good thing maybe to try out to bring in an external person to do the final touches. So then Flemming Rasmussen's name came up, and we ended up asking him if he was willing to do the album, and if he had the time, he was available, luckily. So Flemming Rasmussen mastered the album last spring.
Very cool. Thank you for that information. Yeah. And the cover art, I have to tell you, it reminds me more of like a power metal theme. So I need to know who designed this, because it looks nice, but it doesn't look like a thrash metal album cover, you know? So who designed this? And also, if you could tell us who designed the Warfect band logo.
So the logo I designed back in 2008 when we changed the name. So it's been staying with us since the start of the band, so to speak. And I wanted to make it look like something that I've never seen before, but I would like people to be able to read it, in contrast to some black metal and death metal logotypes, which you maybe can't read. And I wanted to bring in some kind of like Russian inspiration to the design, letters, and I wanted it to be pointy. So it's quite a unique logo, I think, but it's like difficult to place on designs, for example, because of its design.
Yeah, when I look at it, I think of as above, so below, the way it begins, the way that it ends. So it's a really great logo.
Yeah, so it I think it's a good logo, and we've been starting to use the W as a symbol because it's easier to place on merch and stuff, and it's good to have something to switch between as well. And regarding the album artwork, Spectre of Devastation album artwork was made by a German renowned artist called Andreas Marschall. So he's been doing lots of thrash metal and like power metal and heavy metal cover artwork for many years, like Creator and Sodom and Blind Guardian and Running Wild, and you name it, he's probably done it. Destruction. We've been discussing his name for previous Sodom cover artworks, but this time we thought that it's the right time. Let's ask him. He was willing to do it, and we were very happy because I think it turned out great. It's an amazing cover artwork, and it fits the album perfectly.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I'm glad that worked out for you, and I'm interested to know about how your experience was like in getting signed with Napalm. How did that go for you?
So when we recorded the album in January of this year, we were unsigned. So we had purchased the rights to Exoneration Denied and Scavengers from our previous label to be able to release it ourselves, like reissues and stuff. And we thought that we had the songs. Why not record an album and let's finish the product and see if we can get a real deal this time. So we finished the product with Flemming, mastering it, and it was ready with cover artwork and everything in the spring. And then we sent it to a few select labels in the summer, and actually in early summer, late spring, and NAPALM Records was one of them, and luckily they responded very fast, among a couple of other labels as well. But we felt that NAPALM Records was really the perfect fit for us. We've been looking at NAPALM Records before, and this time we had the chance to cooperate with them, and it felt great.
Congratulations on that. And
Yeah,
as we discussed a little while ago about this COVID-19 and the ability to do touring, I know it's probably nothing planned for you as of yet, but has there been any thought process as far as what you may be doing during 2021?
So we have a few dates. I don't know if they are confirmed. So we can't make those dates public yet because we don't know. Everything is depending on this vaccine getting out there. But hopefully the vaccine gets out in the first quarter of next year, and we will be able to do some shows in the spring. That's the best case scenario, I think. More probable is like doing festival shows in the summer and hopefully a tour second half of 2020. That's what we're hoping for, anyways, to support the album, because we need to get out there and we want to get out there. So
we will.
Yeah, I hope so.
We will be on the lookout for future tour dates for Warfect, and when we see that, we will spread the word, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
And I did notice quite a few shows from your recent past in places such as the Netherlands, Sweden, of course, UK, Czech Republic. Would you like to talk about your fondest memories of any of these shows, any that stand out in your mind that you'd like to talk about?
Yeah. So I think we did a festival show in Portugal, in Barroselas, in 2017 when we toured with Lich King, and that was a really great show for us, I think, because there were lots of people, so it was probably the biggest show we've done, and the crowd was great, and it was a great festival. That was a special moment for us. Also, it was very good to open for Tankard, which we did a couple of dates in Czech Republic in 2018, I think. That was in Prague and Brno, and those were pretty big shows as well. And that was real fun.
It must have been, sure.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got lots of memories, lots of good shows. But also the small places can be really good, like club stages where we can where the crowd is really crazy. Those shows are great as well.
They can be more intimate with a smaller crowd too.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can do more crazy stuff. Like one time in a town in Basque Country, so it's like part of Spain or not, but it's called Basque Country, and there's a town called Laudio, and we did a show there, and it was great. The crowd was great. Fredrik was crowd surfing, and those small shows can really be great as well as the big ones. But we like doing bigger stuff because that's club shows. But it would be cool to play a really big stage. That would be a really nice thing to try.
And we wish you the best in the future of the touring with Warfect after this pandemic. So we wish you the best with that.
Yeah, thanks.
And one of the things I love to talk about during the interviews, especially when we're promoting a new release, such as Spectre of Devastation, is to inform the listeners how the fans can support Warfect by getting merch. This is a very important situation. So I'm going to give a couple of links. Of course, your facebook.com/Warfect, and you have the Shop Now tab. That's one way that the fans of the band can get merch. Also, you have your warfect.net. Then you also have NAPALM Records, and I'm sure you have various like Amazon and Spotify and such like that. But what would you say would be the best place for a fan of Warfect to get merch currently?
So I think it's Warfect.net, because we have more diverse merch as of today. So we have the NAPALM Records stores is good as well, because they have like blue and red vinyl, which we don't in our web store. They also have the black, obviously, and we don't have that either. We have a limited white vinyl, which you can buy straight from the band. And that's not available at any other store. But we also have merch, T-shirts and stuff, which they don't have on NAPALM Records. So I think that's a good place to start it. And I think more merch is coming pretty soon.
That's great news. Thank you for sharing that with us. And so what will you have in the works as far as merch? What do you plan on having in the future?
Well, we need to do a few more designs, I think, to make it more interesting. I think we also should do bundles, perhaps. So it's like a good price for a T-shirt and a vinyl, or a T-shirt and a CD and stuff like that. Maybe we should look more into patches. We have a logo patch, but it would be cool to have more patches and pins as well. So yeah, we certainly need to look into getting more merch.
It never hurts. Sure. It always helps. So I wish you also the best with that, and that for the fans as well. And also, Kris, I checked out your YouTube page, and I got to tell you got 3 killer videos for this release that I've noticed in promotion for Spectre of Devastation. The first being Into the Fray, the official lyric video, and 2 official videos for Left to Rot and Pestilence, all killer songs. And I would like to know if you could help us explain to the listeners the making of these videos, as far as the production, editing, directing, and everything related to these videos, if you can tell us about that, and if you plan on making any more music or lyrical videos for Spectre of Devastation.
Oh yeah, so Into the Fray is a lyric video, and this one was produced by NAPALM Records. So we were not that involved in the making of the video. So the other 2, Pestilence and Left to Rot, we did ourselves. So like I said before, we're a do-it-yourself band, and those videos we did ourselves as well. So you need to make or actually you want to make a video that is suitable for the music with the budget you have, which is usually very limited. And both those videos were directed and shot by my brother, Mikael Martinsson, edited as well. So we shot the Pestilence video in a castle ruin in Uddevalla to get the feel, like this medieval feeling, which is the theme of the Pestilence song. It's obviously about the Black Death in the medieval time.
Very great.
And so we thought that would be a good place, and to connect with the lyric. We were of course talking about doing like we would like to do a big budget production with actors and stuff, but it wasn't possible. So this is what we could do with our limited production knowledge and budget. And the Left to Rot video, the lyrics are about a massive railway construction project they did in northern Siberia during the Gulag time. So prisoners were treated like slaves and built this impossible railway. And it was horrendous conditions, and lots of people died. And we thought we would capture that with like outside shots and railways and stuff, but that wasn't possible either. So we ended up filming in a cave just next door to our rehearsal room. But I think it turned out great anyways. We just hired a smoke machine and got some lighting, tried out shooting in a pretty dark environment, which we hadn't done before. But I think it turned out good, and you still get the vibe of the lyric, I think.
It's outstanding what you've done, and I thank you for the details behind it. quite deep, your story about it. I really appreciate you taking the time to explain that. And yeah, do it yourself. You're doing a great job with that.
Thanks. And I think we will continue doing it ourselves as long as we can, because you could do like a big budget project if you have the money, but it's very important to us that the video is connecting with the music, and we wouldn't want to do a super fancy music video for our kind of music. It needs to be thrashy. It needs to be a little dirty.
Right.
That's why I think it suits us very well doing it ourselves, because it's the right level for the music.
Yeah,
I think.
outstanding.
And that's important. And what goes for new videos coming off the latest album, we are in the, I can't say we are in the works, but we're planning on doing at least one more video for another track, and hopefully we will do this in the first quarter of next year. So I think we'll start to plan this now in December, and maybe we can release it in the first quarter of next year.
That's excellent. Thank you for sharing that news about future videos with us. We look forward to that.
Yeah, it would be great, I think, because videos are very important. I think when you're out doing live shows, people tend to know the songs we've made music videos of. That's clear to us. So it's very important to have music videos. If it was possible, we would probably do music videos for every track,
right,
like Metallica has done. So, but I don't think that's possible.
But it is even more important these days because of COVID, because you can't get out there and do live performances. So the only way you can really promote the band is by doing these videos to get the word out, so people get familiar with the music.
Yeah, and people want to watch as well as listen. That's very important. Yeah.
And Kris, do you consider yourself a gearhead? Would you like to talk about your equipment, your basses, and such?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So I think I'm a little much into buying gear, to be honest. So I tend to buy lots of stuff, and usually I end up using only a few of those purchased instruments and stuff. So I think I have like 5 amps or maybe more. They're like everywhere, but I don't use them. I use one, and I switch between, and I change like what I want. But yeah, I tend to buy too much stuff. I have lots of pedals, lots of amps, not lots of basses. I only have 2 basses, and I primarily use one with a Music Man Sterling. And what goes for amps and cabs, I'm into I'm really into the Harky sound, and that comes from being a fan of Megadeth and Dave Ellefson. So he was using Harky for the early albums, and primarily for the Rust in Peace album, and he's still using it to this day. And I really like that sound. And being a 3-piece is even more important because you can't hide behind a second guitar player. So I need the sound to pop. I like the metallic sound that's created by the aluminum cones in the Harky cabs I have, and I use a lot of treble, to drive this metallic sound to get a lot of string sound and a lot of attack. So it's I like that kind of sound. I'm not much of like these muddy bass sound guys. I like the clear attack sound, and also a little bit of overdrive or distortion. And I've recently just a new amp to me, a new brand called GR Bass. And the nice thing about this amp is that it's a dual channel amp, but it's also possible to run the 2 separate signals simultaneously, which means I can have one clean signal and one distorted signal, and I can equalize them separately and send them to the board separately as well. And that gives me the sound I want, but I still want the harky sound, so I use harky pedals as well, just to modify the sound just a little bit. So yeah, I'm a gear guy, but I certainly need to sell off a few things, I think, to make room for new stuff.
I thoroughly enjoy the sound of your bass, and I appreciate all you do to get that sound. So kudos to you.
Yeah,
And
thanks.
what do you do when you're not doing the band, Kris? Do you have like a regular job, or what do you do? Yes, what do you do?
Yeah. So we all have regular jobs in the band, like daytime jobs, and I have an IT company, which assists other companies in IT questions. So we help setting up networks, IT support, infrastructure. We also sell servers and computers to companies, and host virtual servers and other services that are hosted. So I have a daytime job as well. That's lucky during these pandemic times.
Yeah.
So it's very unfortunate, I think, for the musicians who just started to live on the music alone, because now when you can tour, you probably would need a well-established name, like Metallica and Iron Maiden, and those guys probably will sit it out pretty well because they have all these back catalog and
they're living off of royalties.
So yeah, exactly. But younger bands, they need they need to tour to get money, and since we have daytime jobs, we can focus on creating music and not just focus to make money, and I think that's important right now. So it's unfortunate for lots of musicians.
That's well said, and let's hope that this COVID goes away soon, that the bands can get out there and support themselves by doing these live shows.
Yeah.
Kris, at this time, would you like to say anything to your fans that are tuning in right now?
So, if you haven't heard Warfect before, I think it's a good idea to check out our official YouTube channel, because we have official music videos, and that's a good start, and especially the videos from our latest album, Spectre of Devastation, because they are a good representation of the Warfect sound and the Warfect style, I think. So if you like those 3 videos, you will probably enjoy the album, and also probably the 2 previous albums, because it's in the same vein, so to speak. So check it out.
Absolutely. And Kris, I want to thank you for spending time with us on Metal Meltdown on Metal Messiah Radio. I really have enjoyed talking with you and learning more about Warfect. But before we go crank up more Warfect, I want to make sure that we covered all the bases. So that being said, is there anything else that you'd like to bring out there to the fans that we have yet to discuss?
So I think we've covered a lot here. No, I think we've
did
covered
a great job,
lot.
I think. I appreciate this. Yes. So I want to wish you and all in Warfect a great holiday season, as the holidays are just upon us, and a happy, healthy new year.
Yep.
And may you have many years of success currently and in the future. And hit me up on Facebook when you have shows lining up and new videos or any news, and we'll help share this, because this is very important. So I wish you the best always. May you have great success, and thank you again for this interview. How about we go crank up some more Warfect now, and let's crank it up loud.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you very much for having me.
Let's do this. Yeah, thank you for the interview. I thought it was great. I really appreciate it.